Hello, welcome to a duller day, but it's drier.
Is that a word, duller?
Yeah, well it is now. Back with, who are we? Oh, RiderCamTV, that's it. Have we got something to show you? I think this is going to like a game changer for technology on the bike. So pan back,
That's
Mark, without tripping
that's a
over.
pretty serious statement you're making there. Who have we got here then?
Now this is Barney. Barney's my 2015, and this is quite pivotal, 2015 BMW 1200 RT. Now, 2015, hey?
RTP.
RTP, yeah. 2015 was a year which they went, or 2014 I think was when they brought out the new shape of the RT. And back in 2015, 2016, we were all heralding all this technology that was on bikes, weren't we? Wow, look at this screen, it's amazing. You know, you've got these dials and there's an LCD and you can select things with a button. How amazing. The new RT has got a massive TFT, it's got all that same sort of stuff, it's all internal, that sort of stuff. But for an older bike that's got less technology, we've got something special. Look at this. This is the Chigee AIO-5 Lite. Now, let's turn it on. What is it, you may ask?
I'm asking you,
well,
what is
this is a touchscreen device to enable your bike to come into the 21st century. So look, it starts up saying Chiggy, and Chiggy are an Indigo startup company at the moment. But as you can see, it's got cameras front and back. We'll go through them in a minute. But I have got my mobile phone just here. It's a mobile phone. Look, Apple CarPlay. It also does Android Auto, but if we start looking at the unit, so the unit, I think it's a, why is it not going back? Oh, of course, I need to go back to there. So back to the main menu. Let's go back to the main menu. So this is a system that encompasses a lot of systems into one thing. So I've had Innovv cameras on my bike, Innovv third eye blind spot detection system on my bike, and a load of other things, but this is all in one thing. Now the Innovv cameras, exceptionally good. They're some of the best cameras, aren't they, Mark?
Oh, amazing cameras.
The blind spot detection system, really good, faultless. But they're two systems, aren't they? This has got it in one, but with loads of added extras.
Wow.
So, firstly, they make this little dongle that plugs into the RDC port on Barney or any RT or GSA or GS, either 4-pin or 8-pin. They do two different sorts. So for me, I've plugged it into the RDP port where my EasyCan plugged in, then plugged the EasyCan into it, so it's actually in the CanBus.
Wow.
That enables WYSIWheel to operate box. So when I press and hold right on the WYSIWheel, it goes from screen to screen to screen to screen.
End of video.
I mean, it's just a game changer.
BMW, you've just lost all your Nav 6, Nav 5, the new one they've just brought out.
Wow.
Because that would replace everything.
The question I asked myself was, or we were talking, weren't we, earlier, how long have satellite navigation devices standalone got longevity-wise for a motorbike?
Not long.
I think it's getting less than, I think there are certain occasions where having a dedicated Garmin or TomTom or whatever you use is the right thing for you. But that's just satellite navigation. And bear in mind, when you're using your phone with CarPlay or Android Auto, that's going to use some of the data, isn't it? So you're going to have to have a data plan of some sort. But if you're going on a tour to Europe, we were thinking, well, because we tour quite a bit, how can you use Google Maps with the GPX files for the exact waypoints, but the exact roads in between? Because Google Maps is very good at saying there's traffic there, let's take you this way. We don't want to go that way. We want to go on the roads that might look busy because they're mountain passes. So everybody's crunched together and all their phones are telling the satellite navigation that everything's stopped, where in actual fact it's not. But you go to CarPlay, if you use an app like Scenic, you could put the GPX files into Scenic and use it. If you use...
There's the map on that.
That was the map.
Was it?
Yeah. Look.
Where's the road?
There's the road.
Oh, it's hard to see.
There's the road. Yeah, but you'd get used to it, wouldn't you? And you can change the settings
for
the colours. I don't use my Route app as a separate app, but it's on CarPlay. I need a subscription, so if I had a subscription, I could use that, and that's what we do, isn't it? We use that for our GPX files, don't we?
Yeah.
So you got Google Maps to get you out of trouble, Apple Maps that will work, but Siri's a bit rubbish. Scenic, Calimoto, My Route app, TomTom do route maps if you're a TomTom person. Not sure whether Garmin do, which is a shame, but you've got the option of using all these different systems to work with how you want it to work.
I wonder if it would work with the Tread app, which is the Garmin app, isn't it?
Don't know, it's not on there, and I've got it on the phone, so it's obviously not compatible with the CarPlay. But the good thing about this, we've looked at CarPlay units before on the channel, haven't we? And their connection to the headset has been a little bit sketchy. This, you don't need a connection to the headset. The connection is to the phone, and the phone is connected to your headset. So you've only got one thing connected to this, rather than a headset, a mobile phone, something else, a three-way connection that's all fusing each other. So then you get on the bike one day and none of it works. Or I haven't connected this before that, and all this rubbish, quite frankly. This has just got to connect to the phone. The phone's connected to my Cardo. I can use Hey Cardo for all the Cardo stuff that will show me that the music's playing. Sorry? Oh, it is, yeah, when it starts putting the radio on. But I can also go, Hey Siri, all those sort of things, and control stuff on the Apple CarPlay. So if somebody messages you, you can have Mark message me to say, I'll be there in a minute. Well, I said, read my message from Mark, and it read, I'll be there in a minute. Do you want to reply? Yes. Okie dokie, I'll see you in a minute. Send.
And that was all done on that?
All done through my Cardo, which is connected to the phone, which is connected to Apple CarPlay.
Wow. I'm a little bit blown away by that, actually.
I really am, because this, I've had it on there for about a week, and it has not faltered to connect directly to my phone as soon as I've started it. Every time. There's been no problem with this triangle of connections that we all have these problems with, because there's only one connection to the phone. The headset's connected to the phone, so I've got Cardo or Siri to be able, or my finger, or I can use the Whizzy wheel.
That's the amazing bit,
Yeah.
being able to use the jockey wheel or whatever you call it. Because,
So, yeah.
you know, we've got an XTs, we've got XT2s, but you can't use the jockey wheel on it. And I find that, you know, I sort of default back to my Nav 6 because I can use the jockey wheel on it.
Yeah.
But to have all that, I mean, that's mirroring your phone. That's just unbelievable.
Yeah. And if somebody was to rip this off, on there, normally on a sat-nav would be where you've navigated, probably where your home is, where you work, all that sort of stuff. Nothing's kept on there because it's mirroring your phone. It's all on your phone. And your £1,000 worth of phone and your life is nicely placed in your pocket, somewhere where you know. So you turn it off, walk off, and you haven't left your whole life on a phone that's jangled and damaged. Couldn't get any better. So,
question though, how does it fit to your bike?
Right, okay, so let's go through the menu system because I need to talk about that. So come back to this one here first, Mark. If you haven't got a BMW, they do a wireless keypad. So you can answer calls, cancel calls, go from menu to menu.
That's wireless.
Select stuff, yeah. So it's got a USB-C, I think, socket there. You can charge it up. And it comes with a bracket, so you can mount it below or above, depending on where you want it. But I've chosen to stick it there. I've used it, but I've favoured this a lot more because it's actually built into the bike.
Obviously.
So if you have got a BMW, to move left and right through menus, I need you to look at this one though, Mark.
Oh.
Left and right here, you can select stuff or go to different things. But when you want to select something, you press in on there and it does it. Press in on your indicators and it changes it.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
There it is, just done it, which is brilliant. So I'm on pause. I want it to play. It won't play because I've got nothing connected to it, but you can select it and play it. Got your album art, all that sort of stuff. All of your stuff about what signal you got, what time, standard CarPlay stuff, but on a bike. So then we've got different menus. So let's go back to the Chiggy menu. So over here we've got a setup. I've gone through these. I'll go through these a little bit later when I'm out on the ride, but you can format your storage, change the brightness, go into the feet.
What's the storage on here? Is there an
yeah,
SD
so we've got a 28 gig in the unit, and I've put a 32 gig card in there, so you can format it on the fly as well,
So
and it
that'll store
overwrites
maps
it
and
as
all that
well.
kind of stuff if you
No,
need to.
there's no maps. It's all
So
on your
what's the card
phone
for?
your dash cams.
Ah, of course.
So all the features, you got the tyre pressure monitoring system. Now Barney hasn't got one, and we'll show you those in a second. Or I might be able to show you now actually, Mark, if we know where they are. Hidden away. You
Always
might have to look
they're
at the
always
back.
hidden away.
There you go. It's this thing here. It just screws on, and it could not be simpler. It walks you through it when you go through the settings.
So that came
This
as
is how
part
you
of the
do it.
kit.
It's an extra as part of the
Oh,
kit.
right, okay.
Headset, as you can see, this unit's connected to my phone, which is connected to the headset. There is no configuration for audio, and the audio is as good as your phone will make it.
Wow.
It's really good. GPS, and I've mounted the GPS actually inside behind the speaker grill. Good GPS signal there. Remote control. Now this is where it gets really simple. If I wanted to delete the CanBus remote control that I've got set up, I press delete. To pair it, I just press pair, and they look for each other and pair. If I want to pair the separate button system, I press on it so it's live and press pair, and it pairs itself. It's so simple. Blind spot detection, either on or off. I can have a voice alarm. The calibration line set.
Blind spot detection.
Yeah.
It's part of the system.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can have it on high or standard, but I can have it on any different one of those speed that's people coming up behind, which is strange. That's kmh and not miles per hour. You can update it, go into more and change it between k and miles. But you can do all the times and stuff. So say you're riding along and you want to be able to download some of the footage. You go on to download, connect to it, download it straight to your phone, use the app, which is on your phone, download it, or take the SD card out, which is screwed into the bottom, and put it into your phone or into your computer. But on this screen, it gives you so much information. So you've got the speed, a trip, which you can press and hold and reset, compass, tyre pressure monitoring system, and then you've got your stuff down here. Let's go to meter. This will tell you your speed. It's not a rev counter, it's a speedo. Various bits about your bike and the speed you're doing. And then go into video. Now you can see the video back and front. Now I'm looking at front and back, and you see these lines. This is how it calibrates the blind spot detection.
Wow.
And when you're riding along in any screen, if something comes on the left of you, there will be this big red bar saying caution. If they're coming behind you, caution down there. If they're coming on the right, caution up on the right hand side. Oh, we were in there. So if I want to switch it again, switch it to just the front, just the back, or front and back. Now for tutors, I think this is brilliant. We'll be out with our associates riding along, and if they say specifically this, I'm having problems with cornering, I think I'm in position 1, but really they're in position 3, and danger in their head going over the road, we can show them on there real time, and it's this simple. Look, so I go into the video, and what I want to do is I want to see a video I've already done on the way up here or wherever. These are all the ones that I've recorded on the front camera. So let's pick this one. Oh, look at that, it's playing already. It's 1080p or 720p, depending on how you set it. It's got loads of information on the screen, but is that not good quality, or is that not good quality?
It's amazing. That is really, really something.
And when you turn it off, when you turn the unit off, it will shut itself down, give you some data about the trip that you've done today, and turn itself off. So you're not going to be worried about your dash cam footage being corrupted. I am blown away, really am. But
It's funny because we've just done a video about the new BMW
connected
sat-nav.
ride, yeah.
700 quid, and it's got
Yeah. Now it's funny because I probably talk about it when I'm riding, but people will say 450. It's an Indiegogo starter, so you're paying for a reservation of this I think they're going to be shipping out in February, March, so we're talking about a month. There's lots of people that have already got, they've earned or raised loads of money to do it. But I think these people have really thought about a lot of stuff.
That is pretty cool.
I think the difficulty people are going to have is trusting a company they've never heard of that's a Chinese company. But don't forget, loads of stuff's made in China.
Everything's made in China.
They've sent loads of these out to YouTubers, and YouTubers have got different thoughts on different things. This is just subjective, isn't it? But to have it all in one unit, if you're paying £450, something like that, because they're on offer at the moment to get people enticed, then you've got to add the bit to plug it into the back, or the remote control, the mount for the yoke, or it comes with its own mount that's good for security, that you can't just rip it off. But I couldn't get it straight enough. It was just slightly, and my OCD just kicked in. So it comes with everything to mount and a load of extras like the tyre pressure sensor. So you could be looking at £600-700 if you bought everything on there that you needed. But if I bought an Innovv K5, that's £399, something like that. The blind spot detection or the third eye from Innovv, 250 quid. If I bought tyre pressure monitoring system that's separate with something else that's got to go on the handlebars, £100. This has got it all in one thing, and it's waterproof.
And it's waterproof to 15 metres or something?
Something like that. The temperature from minus something ridiculous to plus something ridiculous. It's got a really good sensor in there. Sensors in the camera. Got a really good chip in the thing. The computer-y type thing.
So I've seen this mounted on GSAs and on a Triumph, and the actual thing, the actual bracket that the GS and the GSA have their nav6, nav5s, whatever's connected to, it fits on that.
Yeah,
and it's a really nice clip that it fits on.
There's two things that I would love them to think about for perhaps a revision, or I would have liked them to have thought about for this. So they've thought so much about the functionality, how it works, how well it works, and how well you interact with it, and it interacts with the bike. But the proprietary connection on the back, got to give them props, because the screw into the bracket has actually got a vibration mount on it.
Wow.
So it's not going to affect, hopefully, the internals. They must have done all their research on it. But off that comes a proprietary, very small, almost like a RAM mount, that then connects to their security conscious, it goes over the ball, screws in, metal connector that goes on a tubular bar. Well, they sent me the yoke fitting, but the yoke fitting was about that deep, and the area I've got in the yoke is about that, so it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But the end connection allowed me to move it like that, so I'm sat here looking at the screen. So I took off this BMW preparation, drilled a hole through the plastic, because all this plastic comes off. So if I ever put the BMW prep back on, you'll never see the hole. And all the wires have gone through there, and I've screwed the yoke connector in through there, so it's solid, you can't take it off. But that's a bit of an issue. I think they need to think about having more of a generic system of fitting it to different things, because I didn't want it over here. Yeah. I didn't want it stuck there or up here. I would have had it there if I could have. I didn't want it down here or in the middle. I wanted it where I was looking. So I had to just adapt a little bit. The other thing is that the wires that come off, I think there's 3 wires that come off, and they're connected inside. And the connections are really easy. They're like the Innovv stuff, only go in one way and screw up. What I'd like them to see is doing all of the peripheries, like the cameras and the GPS unit, all being hardwired, but a proper mount that this then sits into and locks into. So I could then have this on both bikes, but only have to buy 1 unit, rather than buying 2 units and spending all day wiring it in. That's what I'd like to see them do. But I nearly swore then. There's lots of stuff that we get sent, but we only review the stuff that we really like, don't we, Mark? Some of the stuff's remained on the bike, but only the stuff that we're willing to put our name behind or our videos behind. The Innovv stuff, it will remain, because that's just top notch. This is also top notch and does lots of things all in one package. Really like it. But I did have to take the whole bike apart. So I've put the camera, the rear cameras on here, and their proprietary mounts will fit into a GoPro style mount, but because I wanted it there, I had to make a bracket up to fit on there because it comes with a plastic mount that you can stick on, but I couldn't get the angle.
Just for comparison, that's your
enough.
Innovv camera just above it, isn't
Yeah,
it? Which you've left on.
yeah. And then at the front, I fitted it there, and this is the plastic mount. So you've only got so much angle to go that way or that way before it hits the actual bracket.
Yeah.
So I had to think about where I can mount, but you can twist it there to get it upright. As long as you've got those little arrows, you're upright.
It's ticked all the boxes, hasn't it?
Do you know,
It's ticked all the boxes. It does everything you want it to do. That is unbelievable for a BMW bike. I mean, so many people are going to look at that.
Yeah. Now, lots of people will look at it, and if you get it and you think, oh, this is rubbish, it doesn't always work, bear in mind where you're seating the Bluetooth stuff. So for me, it's underneath a metal plate, underneath the hump. So at some points, it will work. It's not failed to work, but sometimes I've had to press a little bit harder or hold it in, which might be where I've sighted that Bluetooth module, but I have to because that's where the pin is at the back. Yeah. That's where they come in with this. I could just as easily use this instead.
So there's so many bikes will need that.
Yeah.
God, that's brilliant.
So now, all those people that think, I only like TomTom, you can get TomTom on your phone. You can use it on CarPlay and Android Auto. I only like Garmin. Well, perhaps you can use my Route app or Scenic with your Garmin files.
That is phenomenal.
It took me a long time to think, do I take my XT off and put all my trust in it? And I'm thinking, well, I really like the XT. If I go on tour, I'll probably fit the XT somewhere else for a backup. But I'm really looking forward to trying this out. And I might even... don't know how I can say this. I might even have to invest in the TomTom app. I said it.
Oh, my word. My word. My word.
I know. Get me into a shelter by nightfall. But all those things you can try on there. This unit, I think the biggest thing is that it's a Chinese make that people haven't heard of. And it's Indiegogo, and lots of people have been had their fingers burnt by trying to back companies. Their website's really good. Loads of information on it, but what's more important is their support site is really good. Loads of questions on there, loads of forums, loads of things that you think that they should look at for the next one. They've raised quite a bit of money, and all the links will be in the description. I genuinely think out of 2023, I know that we're in 24, and it's only like a month into 2024, this is probably one of the best bits of kit that will fit to our bike this year. So I'll go out and ride it and let you know what I think on the ride, shall I?
Please.